Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Habib Rismawan. I'm from English Education Department from Universitas Pancasakti. I will present my presentation from ICOTION article that the title is The Correlation of Students' Reading Comprehension and Writing Skills on Positive Text. First, we move to introduction. English as a foreign language requires mastery of four core skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These skills are interconnected and essential for achieving communicative competence in English. Among them, reading and writing are particularly significant in academic contexts because they contribute directly to students' ability to understand and produce meaningful content. According to ICOTION2025, the use of short stories to develop reading comprehension skills allows students to connect ideas, make interreference, and reinforce their overall language development. Writing, on the other hand, is an essential tool for expressing thought, opinion, and knowledge in a structured and organized form. Diary and Sensi 2019. Initial classroom experience at SMK PGRI 2 indicate that many students encounter challenges in both reading comprehension and writing. The vocational school context, where academic writing is often less prioritized compared to practical skills, further influences the development of these abilities among students. Next, to part methodology. The study employed a quantitative research approach with a correlation design. And then person-product moment correlation was used as the primary statistical tool to analyze the data. And this is using purposive sampling. The classes were selected, that is 11 TGKT4 and 11 MPLP1, resulting in a sample of 63 students. Data were collected using two instruments: a multiple-choice reading comprehension test assessing mind ideas, inference, vocabulary, and text structure, and a writing test requiring students to produce a positive text. The writing test was scored using an analytic rubric covering four aspects: first content, and then organization, grammar, and the last is mechanics. Next, for the result. The result of this study is presented through several statistical analyses carried out to determine the relationship between students' reading comprehension and their writing skills. The analysis includes a normality test to examine the distribution of the data, a linearity test to verify whether the relationship between the variables is linear, and a hypothesis test using the person-product moment formula. This procedure was used to ensure that the assumptions for parametric correlation analysis were met and to obtain an accurate measurement of the correlation between the two variables. And there is the result from normality test. For x variable, that is reading comprehension, the significant number is 0.070. For the y variable, that is writing skills, the significant score 0.107. That means the normality test result is normal to deploy. And we move to the linearity test. From this test, the deviation from linearity result is significant because the score is 0.30 106. So it means the variables are linear. And the last form for hypothesis test, they are using person product moment, and here is the percent correlation score is 0.649. So that means the correlation coefficient score is strong. Next, we will move to discussion. First, the result of this study show that there is a strong and statistically significant positive correlation between student reading comprehension and their writing skills, with with score 0.649, and and that is higher than 0.05. This confirms that students who understand reading text will tend to achieve higher score in writing. Confirm reading comprehension helps students acquire vocabulary, grammar pattern, and knowledge of how texts are organized, which can then be transferred to their writing. Second, with regard to procedure text, the finding also demonstrate that students with higher reading comprehension are better able to produce accurate, well-organized, and logically sequenced instruction. Procedure texts require rough knowledge of structure, imperative verbs, and sequencing markers. Students who could recognize this figure when reading were able to apply them effectively when writing their own text. Third, in vocational school contexts such as SMK Pegir itu Taman, this finding is particularly important because positive texts are closely related to real workplace communication. Improving student reading skill can therefore help them produce functional writing required in practical settings. Last, we move to conclusion. The findings showed a strong and significant positive correlation because the score is 0.649, meaning that students who perform well in reading comprehension tended to achieve higher score in writing. In the specific genres of procedure text, students with better reading comprehension were able to produce instructions that were accurate, coherent, and logically sequenced. They successfully applied structural optimization, imperative verb, and sequencing marked learned from reading to their own writing. This result highlights the strong interdependence between reading and writing skills, particularly in vocational school contexts where procedure texts are closely related to workplace communication. Strengthening reading comprehension can directly enhance students' ability to create functional writing texts, supporting both academic achievement and career readiness. I think that's all for my presentation, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.